All right, what's up, everybody? It's Terminator Juice, and another Juices Loose podcast is here. T's not here yet, though, so we're just going to start, and hopefully he will be here. He did not message us telling us he's going to be late or anything, so maybe he'll be here, maybe he won't, but yeah, we're going to talk about some updates, because last week, right after the podcast, I believe, we got that surprise Doom update out of the blue. And well, we knew one was coming for the audio, but all of a sudden, gyro aiming was added, and it's like I've been playing that game nonstop. So I was thinking about all the other games that are getting updates or got updates. So I figured we'd make that our main topic. We'll talk about, a little bit later. So I was gonna have T tell us some rhyme impressions to begin the show. He's not here, so
that's why you can't trust the Juices podcast. Sometimes we ain't shit.
Anybody? I see quite a few people in my Twitter feed been playing Bayonetta. It looks like they have the 30-second video capture works in that game, so that's
Dude,
cool.
I've been seeing everybody on my Twitter feed play Bayonetta. It's ridiculous.
And it's like, late to, seeing these people posting moments, and I'm thinking 5 years, it was Bayonetta 1, so it's like, I don't know, 8 years too late. And then Bayonetta 2, it's like 4 years too late. It's like I've seen it, been here, done that, but still cool that people are enjoying it. And then I love that it has the option to share the clips, because wish more games had that.
Well, I mean, and just to be fair, I mean, Bayonetta 2, even though it is technically 4 years old, like for a lot of people, that's probably the closer to a new game than like Bayonetta 1, which is on literally any other platform at this point. Whereas Bayonetta 2, it's like if you didn't own a Wii U, you never played the game. So I guess that might be part of the reason why the influx is so big, especially for that game. Also, but it trips me out how many people are like surprised about some of the smaller things in Bayonetta and period. Like, oh my god, I didn't know Bayonetta was that funny. What? How? Have you not seen Platinum Games' humor? Hell, you can look at Wonderful 101 and tell the game that they have a very interesting style of comedy, but it might just be the fact that people haven't touched it. I think I started noticing people were starting Let's Plays of the Switch version on YouTube, and I was like, really?
Seems like a lot of people are starting with Bayonetta 1 too. I haven't seen a whole lot of Bayonetta 2 stuff.
I think that's the better option, because once you play Bayonetta 2, you will not want to play Bayonetta 1 again.
Well, I'm pretty sure that on the top selling is Bayonetta, not Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, Bayonetta.
It's because it's the download.
People buy that one first, probably because it's the download, and it's $30. So like some people might buy that first.
Yeah.
But then it's only $30 to get Bayonetta 2 afterwards. So.
Yeah,
okay.
But because of the download, that's probably the only really the reason for
That'd be my assumption anyway.
Because that counts as, even though they're putting in a code, it's still downloading it for all the people that bought the physical of Bayonetta 2.
True.
So yeah, it's cool that I'm surprised. Even as of yesterday, they were still number 1 and 2, which means, has it been over a week? Let's see.
It's been
it
like
came out the
10 days.
16th or 14th. Yeah. So I mean, that's surprising to me. I didn't think, I thought the price would scare people away, but there's not a whole lot of competition out there right now as far as new games.
Nah.
The one thing that's really interesting is I've watched numerous reviews of Bayonetta 2, and almost not everyone, but a lot of them are saying it's the best looking game on the Switch. Like,
bro, it trips me out how many people are saying that.
I don't know if they're talking handheld.
No, people are talking period.
On the TV. I mean, yeah, it looks good on the Wii U, but I mean, I've seen comparison videos, and I can't even tell the difference on YouTube between.
That's what I was gonna say. It's so bullshit. Like, oh, yeah, it's such a great game. It's like, yeah, but it was a great game when it came out. It was amazing. It is one of the best looking Wii U games there is. But when I see people play this, it's like, that Bayonetta 2 is a carbon copy. Like, they didn't change anything. When you see some port, there's a lot of ports, but so far every port had like resolution boost, frame rate boost, like it's all this extra shit, and Bayonetta 2 is just literally the Wii U game. So when I see that, it's like, man, you seen everybody hates on the Wii U for being the Wii U, and now you praise this game. Like, nothing changed in this game.
To be fair, sir, there is a frame rate boost.
Okay? Well, but to his point, no one was saying best looking game on the Wii U. Well, I don't know that anybody said Bayonetta 2 is the best looking game on the Wii U. I mean, it ran, really well and had a cool art style, but I never thought, oh my God, this game looks so good on the Wii U. I mean, compared to like Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers and Donkey Kong Country.
I thought you had said it at one point, Juice. I swear
I don't
in our
honestly
circle
don't
had said it.
ever thinking that. I mean, I think Tropical Freeze is one of the best looking games on there, and I've always thought that. So I'd be shocked because I went and I replayed Bayonetta 2 recently on the Wii U, and I was just like, I mean, yeah, it looks good, but it didn't look nearly as good as I remembered. And then the fact that it's the same resolution and YouTube, I can't even tell the difference between the two, other than there's like one area where it's like the shadows a little jaggier on the Switch version. They did something weird to them. But same resolution, same just about everything. And now it's the best looking Switch game. To me, that's just kind of funny.
I honestly think it's just because Bayonetta 2. I think Bayonetta 2 has the potential not to age. Okay, I'll put it this way: Bayonetta 2 compared to the original is not even a contest in my opinion. And I think it's partially because Bayonetta 2, I think it has aged better than Bayonetta 1 has. So even though realistically what we're looking at is 4-year-old graphics, it still looks good because the color palette and their choice and art style this time was so much fucking better than the first game. Because the first game looks washed out as shit.
Yeah, it's desaturated, and maybe because nearly lock 60, maybe that's also making it look so smooth. Maybe it just looks that little bit better, but
yeah,
it's just kind of funny to me when you got Breath of the Wild. Mario Kart 8 looks even better on the Switch version. I went back to the Wii U version after playing the Switch version. It's significantly sharper and colors are more I guess brighter, better colors overall. Then you got Splatoon 2, which looks pretty good. I feel like I'm missing a game that looks really good on the Switch.
Arms?
Mario plus Rabbids and Arms. Like I just can't believe people are saying that, but like again, it in handheld mode, I wouldn't be shocked if it is the best looking Switch game, because it's one of the few that runs in native 720p in handheld mode with that art style and stuff at 60. So
it's funny though, because it's like you said, like people call it the best looking Switch game, but it's like not just the shadows have gotten really wonky, but like I said it last week too, something with the lighting. When you see comparisons, the lighting is really bad in comparison to the Wii U version. I don't know what they did to change that, but like light rays and everything, they seem really inferior somehow. What I think is the saddest part is I've seen so many people now, because when it came out on the Wii U, everybody was all right. Platinum is doing this, Platinum is supporting the Wii U. Everybody got to know Platinum, and now you see so many people. They're like, hey, who made Bayonetta? Like, what is this? Like people are separating Platinum from Bayonetta somehow.
I haven't seen anything like that.
To be fair, I'll put it the way my feelings towards it. I'll put it simply this way: I feel bad for the Wii U. In the sense that I feel like its original version. I think this is going to be the problem with all the ports, where it just turns into a situation where it's like, man, this game is really looking good on Switch, and it's like it's not that much different from the Wii U version, but it's that whole we're distancing from the Wii U version. But I'm happy for Bayonetta, if nothing else, then the game gets its recognition, it gets the praise it deserves.
Definitely agree there.
So that's what I feel like the situation is, at least for me.
Hey.
Oh, he's not dead! Get this man!
Whoa, some bitches.
We're talking about, if you didn't know, the game reviewers who are saying Bayonetta 2 is the best looking game on the Switch, and we're discussing that. The fact that I've seen at least three reviewers now say that. Nintendo Life was one for sure.
Why? I don't understand him at all.
What?
So we're just discussing how it's the same resolution, basically looks identical to the Wii U version, and hardly anybody said the Wii U version was the best looking game on the Wii U. I mean, some people might have. I don't remember it being.
I don't remember that at all.
But it's just funny to me.
I consider it, just to say that, I consider it one of the best looking Wii U games. I've said it before. I call it the best, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I do too. But I don't remember like people that being a thing, people talking about it.
No, it's definitely a great looking game on Wii U, and like I was saying, just to catch T up, I was thinking maybe the portable mode of Bayonetta 2 is, because I know it runs at 720 in portable mode, and that's probably is one of the better looking ones in portable mode because it's not getting a 540p treatment or something. So I mean, maybe that's a factor, but
I do have a sneaking suspicion. It might be because people. I remember when Fast RMX came out on the Switch, and people were blown away by that too.
mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's just because of how fast paced a game Bayonetta is, and looks that colorful. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe that's what it is. The fact that it's moving so quickly in motion, it's like, damn.
For me,
I think
that's
it's
not really.
it could. Go
I
ahead.
think it's a neat. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, for me, it's not just that because when I play a game, like I don't run through it, I stand still, I look at everything, the light and the buildings and the shit around me. Like even when you stand still, it really is a very good looking game.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about in terms of the public.
Yeah, when you see like some of these people may not be used to 60 frames per second, you know, and to see a game with that art style, with that high a frame rate, you know, I know it dips in handheld more than dock, but maybe the motion of it is what's selling it as looking so good on top of, you know, everything else.
No, that's all bullshit. What it is some Nintendo's fan need and desire to shovel dirt on the Wii U. That's all that shit is. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's all it is to me. Like,
yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. That and that's gonna keep happening for every port we get.
Every port we get. Oh man, this is amazing.
Because there's, I mean,
we're gonna throw the Wii U under the bus, run that bitch over, shoot it, light that motherfucker on fire. We're gonna do anything we can to just fuck with that corpse.
I will say
I never understood that. I never understood people need to
what
do that.
Juice said. Juice, like what you said, like Mario Kart actually looks better. Some ports do look better, but Bayonetta does not. It is the same fucking game.
The same damn game. The frame rate is slightly better. That's it.
Yeah, like 5 frames per second when you're in the fucking plaza or something. Like, come on.
some people, some tech guy was saying that the Switch is capable of higher color range or something. So I mean, I guess there could be some little bit of improvement there,
don't
but
care about no damn color.
That is true. All we care about is gray and black.
Exactly, gray, brown, and black.
But it is nice to see Bayonetta 1 and 2 still atop the best sellers on the eShop. So
yeah, that's good.
So that's
just
cool.
For me in Europe, Bayonetta 1 is on number 1 and Bayonetta 2 is on number 7. But it's most likely like got to do with like what Terrell said, where a lot of people or Juice, like a lot of people have the code when they buy the game. So
yeah, they're buying the physical and then download.
But I thought in Europe they got the physical version, didn't they?
No, it was Japan, I guess.
Japan, okay.
Yeah, I think for us we get a code. Dude, I'm not gonna buy it. I already have the exact same game on my Wii U, so I don't know. But
you guys also have a fucking steel book, so I don't hear any of that shit.
I know, right?
But
I'm still mad about that shit.
Props to those that are playing it for the first time, 1 and 2. You know, because great games and it.
I'm sure it's amazing to have it for the first time on your Switch.
It's you know, it was hard for me to only play 1 without touching. I had to play the prologue at least of 2 right away, and then I was like, I better just get through Bayonetta 1 before I touch the 2 again. Right. So, but now that T's here, we can get your impressions of Rime. I gotta say, YouTube videos aren't selling me on a visual difference, but I think
it's probably hard to see on YouTube.
I think YouTube's really
the compression.
I think it's really and that could be a part of Bayonetta on Switch and Wii U, you know. But they're both being put on YouTube, so you think the difference would be equal, but
you would think. But trust me, like, because I almost just did the update. And I was like, wait a minute, let me see what this game was like before the update. So I recorded, I did the video or whatever, and I recorded pre-update, just kind of ran through a little bit. And boy, I'm telling you, I mean, maybe it's hard to see in the video. I haven't really looked at the video on YouTube, but it is a huge difference. Like, it looked awful before. Like,
I was gonna say, I thought your thumbnail for your video made it really apparent that there was
you can probably see it better, maybe in the thumbnail when it's not moving, and it's just just the thumbnail. But yeah, it's definitely, the resolution is way better. It's like it's night and day. It's night and day. It really was night and day to me, because I was playing it just without the update. I was like, oh, this is awful. and like the frame rate, like I was swinging the camera around just to see how it could handle it, and it could not. It could not handle that. It was just.
Oh yeah.
There's still hiccups occasionally, but I mean, I haven't played it. I haven't played I'm probably, what am I, like 4 hours in now? And there's still hiccups sometimes in quote unquote cutscenes. They're not really cutscenes. They're kind of in game, like stuff that happens as you go to a certain area, kind of like where I guess there was a little cutscene that I had the comparison in the video. It's similar to that kind of stuff where you just, it's pointing out something to you that you might want to check out. So it's not really a cutscene, but it is. And so you'll have a stutter here and there in that, which I think is kind of weird, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. They could still use another patch for some of the hiccups, but it is way more playable than it was originally. I don't know how. I would have been pissed if I had bought that game in that state back then. So
yeah, because I usually don't care too much about frame rate, but when you saw that video of yours, like the title screen was
title screen.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, like it's like how would they put this game out with any confidence in this state? Like, jeez. I mean, it was bad. It was just bad. And like oh man, I undocked it. I had to see how it looked. It looked awful in handheld mode before the update. I mean, like how it's like, how could it look this bad? And again, night and day when I updated it and played it in a handheld mode. It looks great. It looks better than Xenoblade 2 handheld. So maybe that's not saying too much, but but man, it looks better. It looks a lot better.
How do you feel about just the game from what you played so far?
I love it. Like I thought I'd like it, but I for me sometimes it feels like I don't understand people when they don't like a game like this. Like, I love those puzzle games where you just kind of get lost for a minute and then like, oh, duh, and you figure it out and you kind of move on. Like, I love that stuff. And for me, I don't understand because the game, like I said, I'm sure it was much better on the other consoles from the beginning as far as the frame rates and all that stuff and resolution. So that wasn't as big of an issue. I'm thinking the gameplay just doesn't mesh with some people, and it's right up my alley. Like every time I'm saying, all right, I'm done, I'm gonna stop, and then I just let me go check that out and see what that little puzzle is, and it just keeps me drawn in. So I'm probably gonna beat it sometime this week. Like I can't stop playing.
Well, that's good because I figured out of all of us, you would be the one most likely to like the game. Just seems like right up your alley.
It's not everybody's game. I can understand that, but I feel like maybe it's getting judged a little too harshly in some aspects because you should know what you're getting into with this kind of game.
I think it's like you said, it's the exact same thing with Faye and that kind of stuff. With some people, they just don't understand what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah. To me, it's like it's not old school in its look or anything, but it has that kind of old school PC-ish adventure style to it, and that may not be like a thing for everybody. So,
God damn it,
puzzle like PC puzzle game type of thing.
What was that, Juice?
Sorry, my links are just not working in these.
I thought he got upset because he didn't think the game would be for him.
Nah, he's out there. He's out there cross promote for UT, man. I just like to post on Twitter.
No, I was just trying to the next thing I want to talk about. I was trying to put a link to Twitter for people to check out, but it ain't fucking working. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
That was done. That was pretty much done. So, all right, if you think that's the kind of game you like, I highly recommend it. So,
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the main topic, talking about Switch games getting great updates and stuff. But I wanted to get your impressions of the game first. So yeah, the next thing, just something kind of popped in my mind. I was looking through my phone, just kind of cleaning up photos and stuff, and not every time, but almost every time I posted a screenshot to Twitter for Breath of the Wild back in, when it was new in my first few months with the Switch, I would save them, almost all of them, to my phone. if I posted them. I have like 1,000 Breath of the Wild screenshots on my Switch, and I have like 200 of those on my phone. And I was just kind of looking through them, and I just got the idea I was just going to pick my 4 favorites, which was really hard actually, and post them on Twitter. I was trying to put a link to my Twitter page, but for whatever reason in the live chat, it just doesn't work. So if you guys haven't seen that, if you're following me on Twitter, you can just go to my profile and scroll down a little bit. So I picked my 4 favorites, and then you had Jay Fleming did the same thing, and Active Gamer Life did the same thing. Retro Death, I believe you posted some pics, Lil Cray, I believe, some other people. And it was kind of a cool little movement that was happening yesterday. I was hoping it would continue, but it kind of sputtered. Yeah, those links don't work, Terrell.
It's disjointed. I see.
I don't know if it's just because it's highlighting my name, something, but so we kind of had this seeing people's screenshots of this game, and I was trying to top, like, I see what Active Gamer Life's really got a great eye. Red Knight has a great eye for photos, and he took some good ones. So I was like, man, I gotta put some better ones on there. So I actually went into my Switch's screenshot, and posted some more. I saved them so I could repost, and it was a cool little thing. And it just reminded me like how amazing that game can look at times. Like if it's the right time of day and there's not like cloud cover, it's not intentionally hazy and stuff, like that game can look just phenomenal. And seeing people's screenshots was just like brought me right back to turning that Switch on for the first time and playing Breath of the Wild. So it was a cool little thing, and hopefully you guys go check that out. If you got pictures saved somewhere, feel free to tag me your whether it's Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, or any other Switch game. I love seeing that stuff. And it actually turned into an Odyssey post at the end. We were doing those too, so that was pretty cool. So Retro, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought I actually also expected to catch on more than I did, because I saw you do that, and my first thought was, oh fuck man, I gotta go to March, I got to do that too. And like I spent like an hour, I think, going through my pictures. There were 2 I knew I was gonna post. The one in the shrine, in the watery temple shrine thing. Like I every time I see that screenshot I took, I'm like, god damn, this game looks so good. And the one where I have Link with the spear looking out, that is like the first time, because the main thing when everybody always saw the directs and the treehouse and stuff, like you want to go off that platform or off the Great Plateau. And like that screenshot I took is when I was ready to look out, like I saw the landscape and I was okay, now I'm gonna jump, and that like started the adventure. And I love the idea of the screenshot thing, and I hope like people will still do it a bit more, because I love I'm like you, I have like 1,000 something screenshots just from Breath of the Wild, and like I always like going through those.
Yeah, and I wish I could share, a link for make it easier for people, but it did remind me of how, one of the aspects of Breath of the Wild that everybody kind of plays it different, goes in different directions with all the costume variations, weapon variations. There's just, it's literally limitless, the amount of variation. A lot of people seem to draw into sunsets and sunrises, which is what I kind of focus on too. So cool thing. So anyone checking this podcast out live or on the replay, feel free, like I said, tag me in some of your favorite picks you got on your Switch of, Breath of the Wild or Odyssey, definitely, but anything else too. So yeah. So anybody else pick up any new games other than Rhymed? And before we move on, just going to see if anybody playing anything new lately. Robert.
Wow. You're fucking garbage, Juice.
I see Terrell still playing
Xenoblade. I have a fucking problem. 170 hours. Jesus Christ.
Nice. I'm at a 165, and I've been done playing it for a couple weeks for sure.
Yeah, but I think you.
So it's not nice, Terrell.
What?
Robert, I'm sorry.
No, because
are you playing games over, Robert? Huh?
And then you said, well, I already had 165, so I'm like, well, then never mind, take that back. It's not that nice, because
Robert,
it does a lot more.
Robert, what you doing over there, buddy? How's things been going, huh? How's
Yeah, I
life?
don't think
pretty
anybody
good.
picked up Hollow, did they? Because
No.
Did it come out?
I'm going to get it, but
Oh,
I
yeah?
just haven't had
I
time.
don't know, man. That it looks like there's a pretty big disconnect from like shooting enemies. Like there's like no response when you're like
So the
attacking.
gameplay feels a little hollow.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
man.
That was nice, Robert. That was nice.
it looks like these
Nice.
things are like crawling, like walking towards you with a very limited animation, and then when you shoot them, it just doesn't seem like anything. There's like no response other than like some blood splatter. I don't know. It just kind of took me out of watching gameplay. It's like I could see it. I know it's an indie game, and it's not a AAA. It's not a big game, but it just to me that was a little disappointing to see that. But the rest of it looks kind of intriguing and look. Not the best looking game, but the use of lighting and stuff looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm glad somebody brought that up because I wanted to talk about how the developer, it was really like kissing the ass of the Switch and what it can do in Unreal Engine 4. They posted on Twitter, and I had screen capped that and the link, and I never shared it with you guys. Just got distracted or something. But they were just like, oh, Switch is such an amazing machine. Unreal Engine 4 is just, wow, we got, our game looks so good on the Switch, type stuff. Can't wait to make more games. And it reminded me of Project fucking Cars. Like,
Okay.
even though
Well,
this game came out,
There's an actual game this time. So.
what they said in that tweet was very similar to what the Project Cars team was saying about the Wii U version of Project Cars, early on. And it totally felt like blowing smoke up her ass. Even though the game came out and it does look, pretty decent, I guess I would say. It wasn't blowing me away as far as the YouTube videos of it. Wasn't as good as they were kind of making it sound, but you guys' thoughts on, obviously the game came out, so it's cool, but
well, I will say that talk didn't blow my skirt up, if you will, but there's at least more credibility to it. It's like they obviously have been working with it. Maybe they were embellishing to get some people excited and buy their game, but at the end of the day, there is a game. It's not just BS, complete BS. So I had to take it. It reminds me of remember that there was a leak, if you will, of the executives doing a standing ovation at the end of the premiere of Batman versus Superman. They saw a private screening or something. It's kind of like that. But at least we got the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I thought the whole thing was BS from the beginning, but
BVS.
at least I knew there was a movie. Yeah, it was BVS. We got the puns going tonight, y'all. Hit the like button.
Support me on Patreon.
But yeah, at least there is a product at the end of the day where there was never going to be a product like Aliens, Colonial Marines. And shit.
Yeah, that's another one where they were just
Yeah.
We're not.
We built this game with the gamepad in my shut the fuck. Yeah, so
I'm trying to find the name of the developer so I can look up, try to find that exact tweet so I can, for people that don't know exactly, I kind of summed it up, but it's paraphrasing. But it did feel like, hey, Switch is popular. Let's talk great about this system.
Maybe they were surprised. Maybe they were surprised
Could
that
be.
they could do what they did with the Switch, and maybe that kind of blew them away.
Could be some.
Yeah, because
genuine stuff.
the Switch has been surprising a lot of developers just
Yeah.
just through game sales, let alone just easy to develop for.
Right.
You got games that are beating out the PS4 versions in terms of sales. It don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, before it was selling well, people were praising how easy it was to port and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, so it is probably exaggerated, but at least you're doing PR for a game that's out on the console
right.
instead of
Yeah.
fucking lying to people again.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I actually did want to. Speaking of that, I did want to mention real quick. I think Sega had did a poll for Valkyria Chronicles 4 about what platform that most people are going to pick the game up for, and I'm surprised how much it was like the Switch, PS4, then the Xbox in terms of order.
What game?
Valkyria Chronicles. I think it was back because that game got announced and then like, oh, it's coming out in a few months, and it was like, Jesus Christ. And Valkyria Chronicles has never been on a Nintendo platform, if I remember correctly. I think it's only been on Sony. I think it's only been on Sony, so I'm very surprised at how much interest there was in the Switch version of the game.
Yeah,
and
I think it had something to do with the portable version, like PS Vita, and how they sold, and the profit margins on that, and that is potential, to be, that's the potential you got with the Switch, because obviously it's also portable, so they may be a little bit excited about that too.
It's definitely not weird about Xbox, because I think even the devs at this point, they're seeing that the Xbox owners, they don't buy Japanese games and shit.
Yeah.
Like the kiddie weeaboo trash for them. They don't play games, so yeah.
We ain't about the anime life, son.
They play games. They play about 5 or 6 different games online multiplayer.
They all have the same fucking mechanic.
We've come to a point it's scary how often games get announced for PS4 and Switch, and Xbox just don't even mention anymore.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot with Japanese games specifically, and there's a reason why. It's because Xbox. This is one of the reasons why I don't understand the whole. Because I think this weekend people were having conversations about, is Xbox moving towards like a digital only future, and are they going to have another console or whatnot?
Yeah, I heard that podcast too.
No, okay. That shit was greatness. I'm not going to say.
Laker Link know what we talking about. Laker Link know what we talking about.
Okay, there we go.
he mentioned it.
But I just find it funny where they're sitting there and go, Xbox gamers play a variety of games. I'm like, no, you play a lot of games with the same fucking mechanics in them. And that's part of the reason why there's a good chunk of games that either don't come out for your console because you don't, and it always trips me out because Xbox is for the gamer. Yeah, but there's like a whole different side of people who don't get to enjoy certain types of games that they're on your platform. And it's primarily just because Xbox doesn't cultivate it. I don't want to turn this into a...
Yeah, let me read the quote. Let me read the quote because I forgot an important aspect of that Hollow quote. This is a quote from Forever Entertainment. There has to be some magic in Nintendo Switch and Unreal Engine 4 combo. We were able to run all kinds of high-quality effects on Switch and keep Hollow's atmosphere. Definitely, Hollow 2 will be firstly developed for Nintendo Switch. So now they're even saying the sequel is going to be developed firstly for the Switch. So great to hear.
I don't think that's dick riding, man.
Yeah, I don't think that is because Hollow wasn't it like a Steam game or whatever?
It was a Steam game first, yeah.
Yeah, originally I'm sure it probably did okay, but they know at least right now, indie games are flourishing on Switch. So I don't think it's a stretch for him to say that because that's where they're going to make the most of their sales.
Well, I think it's smart to say that, and because it is probably going to do best on the Switch, and that kind of confidence. I just feel like I've heard it before with games that didn't come out, and I'm still, we're still getting over our Wii U.
Yeah, it's like you're having an abusive relationship.
I'm still having flashbacks and that trauma.
It was a black eye from Project R.
The wife beater syndrome.
Yeah, the wife beater syndrome. So when I hear somebody just praising something like to that extreme,
it sends up red flags. I totally agree.
Does a little bit, but we'll see. Then I watched some gameplay and read reviews or watched reviews, and I'm just like, it doesn't seem like that great of a game, but it's a good start. So,
I think a lot of devs are talking like that because they're noticing how many games are outselling, like combined on the Switch compared to other platforms. And I think that's starting to, at this point, attract a lot of devs where they're like, okay, we're going to put like priority on the Switch because that's where the money is.
Right.
I mean, it's smart. It's better than the Hat in Time developers approach.
You go to Steam, you give up 30% of your money, So I'm sure
So I shared a link to some Switch gameplay if anybody hasn't seen the game, doesn't know what we're talking about. It's in the live chat, and they got
for that game, Hollow. There's there's a better horror game that's coming out or it's about to be out. Is Layers of Fear. That game's supposed to come out.
That looks messed up. Layers of Fear. That looks pretty good.
I just want to say the Hat in Time, folks.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm
waiting for that part 2, son.
Say a different side of it that I didn't really mention in the video. I think I kind of did, but I didn't really go to it. basically, like, I get it. Like, it's Unreal Engine 3. It's not really compatible with Switch. You have a small team. That's all you got to say. Like, we know these things. Just say that. Somebody said something smart, like, just copy and paste the answer. Every time somebody says it, if it really bothers you, did you really have to answer them? Just paste that, that corporate line and be like, we have no plans at this time. We're tired. They're working on a game for like what, 4 years? So yeah. I get it. Like, that's all you have to say though. Like, you don't have to be like an ass about it, basically. And they were, but apparently the lead developer, he's the one that's mainly doing all these tweets. There's a history with him. One of the people that also developed the game, he was complaining on Twitter about this guy. He said, this guy's an asshole. He's doxed me and all kinds of stuff. He's been harassing me for years. And it's just like, oh, well, that makes sense. Looking at the tweets that we've been seeing coming out of this guy. So maybe it's just this guy's personality. And people were like, oh, Kamiya, you're blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, Kamiya has classics under his belt. Kamiya, he has a resume where he can be a little bit more belligerent with people. You're an upstart. Like, this is your first game. Like, you should be the most cordial of all, and this is I don't preach what I don't practice myself. I know people say, oh, it's just a small company. They're not used to this kind of stuff. Bullshit. Like, this is the stuff you learn first. Is how to interact with fans and all that kind of stuff. You, as a salesman, you want to be as least I don't know if the word what I'm looking for, but like you want to be as cordial as possible, even with the people that are trying to trigger you. There's people obviously on Twitter, whatnot, that try to trigger you and get under your skin. And I worked in retail for a long time, and you want to cuss customers out, when they say stupid stuff, but you can't do that because not only is it, detrimental to your job, but it's also bad for the company's reputation to be like that. So these are simple business 101 things. And I don't know why people don't understand you shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, you were interested in the game, but it turned you off completely. And
yeah, I was going to buy it anyway. I didn't care it wasn't coming to Switch. I would have liked it on Switch, but
the opposite is, the Project Cars and Alien Colonial Marines one is where you just straight up lie about it being great, try to build up fake excitement with lies. That's just as bad. At the time it's good, but once you find out the truth, that's when it's bad. And Robert, you mentioned Layers of Fear. I'm actually watching some gameplay, and I said kind of giving Hollow some shit about maybe not looking that great, but they definitely pulled off something pretty impressive, especially when looking at this Layers of Fear. So
no, when it turns into gameplay for Layers of Fear,
indie games
it's more interesting.
But it does. Still waiting for like a new Fatal Frame or something would be great for me. But anyway, I'm gonna give some impressions for those people that have Doom or are interested in Doom. I meant to do a Juice Opinions on it and just didn't get the time. And then we'll transition into the update discussion. So just for anybody out there that's either slightly interested in Doom on Switch or had it on another console, and maybe you're intrigued by this new update, which they dropped out of nowhere right after the podcast last week. So we had to immediately go download and play. Robert, T, and I actually played. Robert didn't use motion controls, but I played. He played. So my take on is basically we've never had a first-person shooter using Splatoon's gyro style controls. So for the Wii Remote Nunchuck guys on Wii and Wii U that love that for Call of Duties and Metroids and all that, it's not that.
No.
But to me, and I put in another at least 3-4 hours into the story. I'm right at the end now. One of the biggest like hordes of enemies is late in the game, and it's just it feels like at least 200 demons to kill in this one room. And once you get used to it, because at first you think it's awesome, but your thumb's still just using the right stick, and then you're trying to use motion too much, and it doesn't move left to right quite fast enough. I wish there was a separate slider for vertical and horizontal motion. But once you get that sweet spot where, just like in Splatoon, you're using the thumbstick to, left and right and to get you close, and then you use the gyro just for that little last bit of fine-tune aiming. Once I got like in the zone, I'm doing little twitch the control at the last second shots with the shotgun, getting kills. I'm now used to looking up and down. It's crazy that going from third person to first person would have such an effect, because you think, oh, I'm good at Splatoon 2 motion controls, I should be instantly good, but it's not that, the transition's not that immediate. Like it's a different experience with the first person shooter, especially when you're platforming in Doom. You got the double jump, and your character just moves so much faster than Splatoon. But just for anybody that's like was on the fence, didn't want to double dip, or never played the game, absolutely, I can say with confidence, and I did put out a short little video, but to me now, Doom is on Switch is the best console version of Doom. And I have the PC version. I know PC gamers, keyboard and mouse will never be topped.
Blasphemy.
But as far as console, I played it on Xbox One X, and I played it on the demo on PS4, and now I've played on Switch. And I can honestly tell you that for me, I love motion controls. The gyro aiming needs to be standard from this point on Switch games, first-person shooters, any kind of shooter at all. Pretty much any game where you're aiming the camera and shooting, whether it's third or first, I would love motion controls to be added. It's a game changer for me, and I'm just excited about Wolfenstein 2 even more so now on the Switch. So, if you, like I said, if you're on the fence, this to me, get it. And of course, there's going to be people who don't care for motion aiming, gyro aiming. You got guys making videos and just really, kind of blowing off, or the people that like gyro aiming, like it's like, for those guys, for you losers. But so here's a test.
You can think I'm a loser.
Unforgiven says it didn't improve a thing for me. I don't know if you liked the game or didn't, but I was in a room where you get the BFG, and then there's this laser system comes down. You have to jump out of the way, and you wait for it to come down. You got to shoot individual little spots on this like circular bracket that's coming down. And I tried with just the analog sticks, because you can just hold the controller still. It was in my lap, and I'm trying to aim onto those little spots, and I couldn't do it because I'm in this little area. I can't strafe that's what I used to use for my fine little adjustments for aiming, because it's just a little more forgiving. And then I was like, fuck this, I can't hit them. So then I was like, I'm gonna try with the motion real quick, and it's like get close, motion aiming, boom, I'm right on it, and it's dead on. Like
it's Twitch, it's Twitch
a little
aiming.
It's a little less beneficial in those hectic online battles, because people are jumping around so crazy, and it's hard to hit people anyway. But as far as like the single player game, and because Doom has a lot of platforming and stuff on top of all the shooting and stuff, but once you get into that rhythm, man, it's so good. And I honestly, today was the first day I played Mario Odyssey's Balloon Battle, because I've been playing Doom pretty much nonstop since that update, and I just absolutely love it. So, T, you played it a little bit. Robert didn't play motion controls. Any thoughts on the motion specifically?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as you. Like, I tried it online, and it's people, like you said, move around way too fast, and they jump around all over the place, so it's hard to like aim and whatnot. But I've been playing dual analog up until the update, and I'm not going back now. So,
there's no going back.
There's no going back for me.
And I put the sensitivity. I only had it at like 60, but I turned the look smoothing or whatever off. I had that up way higher, because with the analog sticks that helped, but with the motion aiming, it actually slows it way down. So So you turn that either off or way down. I think it's called look smoothing, something like it's right above the sensitivity.
Like, I don't mind that, some people just don't like motion controls. I totally understand that. But to dismiss them, like that's when I get a little annoyed. Like,
I'll just add that because you guys know I hate motion controls. It's one of the reasons I really don't like the Wii and everything. But there's a difference for me kind of between actual die-hard motion controls and gyro aiming, because I could never imagine like playing Breath of the Wild without that gyro aiming. Like, that's like part of me. When I go back now to some of my older favorite Zeldas, like Majora's Mask and like Ocarina of Time, like I have this habit of trying to move my controller to adjust the air, but I can't. And then I'm like, I have to pull the joystick, and it goes really slow. So I see gyro aiming more as like an addition to standard controls, not as motion controls per se.
Yeah, when I'm saying motion, I'm talking gyro.
That's what I meant.
It's not the shake your controller for stuff.
Exactly.
Motion.
We waggle. I'm not talking about that.
To me, motion equals gyro in this day and age, because there is no. That's all there is. That's what's
no IR.
Is.
Basically, gyro aiming is like mouse aiming on PC. It basically replaces. It's the equivalent of it.
Yeah, it's the best you're gonna get on the console. The closest you're gonna get to mouse and keyboard.
And Breath of the Wild is a perfect example. For all those people that I'm sure almost everybody here has played that game on the Switch, and the Wii U, I'm guessing, has it with the gamepad.
And some of us have played split Joy-Con for the whole 100 and 200 hours, like me. I did it a little bit with the Pro controller, but I rather.
And it's like
split Joy-Con.
It's become such a part of gaming for me. Like I said, anytime you're shooting anything, like I didn't mean just a gun, and I was bow and arrow, like to play Horizon Zero Dawn without the gyro aiming, like I think it would definitely improve that game if you had that, like, because it's hard to go back. And after Doom, like if Wolfenstein 2 doesn't have gyro aiming, I'd be shocked if it didn't. Like I would not buy the game. Like that's a deal breaker if it doesn't have it now, because it's the same developer, same porting studio, so that it should. But Call of Duty ever comes to Switch, it better fucking have gyro aiming. Metroid Prime 4, it better have freaking gyro aiming. I'm sorry, it's the new standard option.
That game better have gyro aiming.
It doesn't have to be required, but that option needs to be in there. And for the people that don't like it, you should definitely be able to turn it on and off. But for me, like if they ported Rise of the Tomb Raider to the Switch, at this point I'll think it'd be ridiculous, way too late to do it. But let's say they decided to.
Oh my gosh!
If they didn't add gyro aiming, that'd be a big mistake for Nintendo fans for that style of game. So
I don't think it would be too late. I mean, you know how us Nintendo fanboys love our 6-year-old games.
That's true. Bayonetta 1 and 2 are top of the charts. So
exactly.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. And don't say it can't run on Switch, because the fucking game ran on Xbox 360, and it even performed better than the original Xbox One day one version.
And Doom doesn't run on Xbox 360, so even if it didn't run on, it's still.
Rise of the Tomb Raider you can port the 360 version and just have this frame rate was already solid. There was no issues with frame pacing or input lag, and just have the resolution be higher, and then be done. So I would probably consider buying the game if it had gyro aiming. I might just be enticed, but apparently there's a rumor for a new Tomb Raider game maybe this year. We'll see.
No, I thought they confirmed.
It's not a rumor; it's confirmed.
Yeah,
when did it get confirmed?
Probably when you said, probably when you thought it was a rumor, it was the confirmation.
Really?
Yeah.
They said they were making a new one.
Yeah,
well, I knew they were making a new one, but somebody.
It was like a letter.
Saying the rumor was it was coming out this year.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they want to crap that out at the same time as the movie.
Oh, they might. Yeah,
the movie comes out in like 3 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was fast.
Yeah, it was a release. It was a rumor.
Oh, I thought it was later than that. It comes out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, March 16th.
Actually, I'm kind of excited to go see that.
Who's the studio? Sony? Please don't.
No, it's Warner Brothers. I want to say I'm not.
Is it
too
WB?
Sure. I think it's
No.
Warner Brothers.
I think they're partnered with two different ones. It's two big ones. I think joined up to to share the risk or reward.
Yeah, there's a small studio. It's usually like a small
It's
studio and
MGM.
production company. Oh, is it MGM? Wow.
Yeah.
What have they made in the last 30 years?
Oh, and Warner Brothers, MGM and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I knew it was a partnership.
Okay, I was gonna say MGM seems too small to handle that kind of.
Well, I'm cautiously optimistic that it might be, a decent movie, a good video
Me too,
game
me
movie.
too. It
So-
does feel a little bit similar to the game, so I'm a little worried
Yeah,
that it's gonna be too much like the
I
game.
don't see any
but-
supernatural element though in the movie trailer.
Oh yes, stay away from that, big time.
There was some cool stuff involving that in the second game, first and second game,
Yeah.
but we'll see. I do like Alicia Vikander. I think she's
What? Don't do what they
She's a
did in
good
the
actor.
original Tomb Raider movies.
yeah.
As far as because that was horrible, and the CG was awful. So
Yeah, hopefully, they just try to keep it, just try to make a good movie and not, just don't be too silly, but don't take yourself too serious. There's a fine line there. We'll see.
don't
You know-
pander too much to the game and the.
I'll probably like it more than the critics. I have a feeling, because I tend to do that. So yeah, Doom impressions. We'll go right into updates for Switch games. Because Doom was, out of nowhere, we just started doing an audio patch, and out of nowhere they do, this gyro aiming edition, which was huge. And
Nobody really asked for that. I don't think.
no,
It was
I
just-
mean, I've seen people asking for it, like in tweets and stuff, when they're talking about.
it wasn't like a big thing.
But it wasn't. I didn't think they'd do it. Let's just say that I didn't think they'd do it. Free update came out, 3 months after the game launch, basically, and is just like, hey, surprise! It's out today. And I wish we would have been on air when I read that. I was just like, I was so excited. So we also got the Mario Odyssey, Bloon, was it Bloon World mode added. Xenoblade Chronicles 2's update got delayed, but that's a free update with some cool improvements. Rhyme got that big patch. Rocket League's getting a patch to give you the option for 1080p 30, and then they're bumping up the 60 frames per second from 720 to 900p. They're going to be adding cross-platform lobby system, which I believe we heard about a long time ago, where you're going to be logging into like Xbox account and Steam account to be able to get your friends, all grouped together. That's going to be awesome. And, Splatoon 2 definitely is getting updates all the time. So my question first is, name, you guys right here or in the chat, name a Wii U game other than Splatoon that got any significant patch or update later after the game came out to like either greatly improve the game or just improve it significantly enough to be worth mentioning. Because I can't think of a Wii U game that got it.
Can we say
Game
Smash?
and-
I mean, Smash always was updated. you
Oh,
know?
Hyrule Warriors. That'd be the other one.
That's season pass stuff. I'm talking about. Here's an update.
No,
Here's
Hyrule
some-
Warriors had patches.
How could you forget Game and Wario? Yo, come on.
Chill out. This motherfucker out
I
here.
think the fact that the Hyrule Warriors, I couldn't even tell you what they did, if they did anything other than add.
They added extra characters for free, and then they fixed bugs and glitches in the game, and they added extra. What was it? The history mode. It's not history mode in that game. What is it called? The 8-bit mode where you
High
were in the
store.
The adventure mode.
Yeah, the adventure mode. They added
Oh,
extra
adventure
drops
mode,
in
yeah.
that.
They added that stuff for free because I had.
Yeah, they had Hyrule Warriors had a bunch of free shit on top of the DLC. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. I didn't know that because I had the.
But
season
did
pass.
Breath of the Wild get the same patch on the Wii U?
Man, we ain't got that.
Yeah, that
man.
don't count.
Oh,
Anybody playing no Breath
that's a
of the Wild on
20,
No,
Wii
it
U?
got
that was a
updates,
2017 game.
but it didn't get patched. Like the frame rate really didn't get improved or anything. They just added the same content that you had to pay
They couldn't
for.
fix the frame rate on the Wii U version. Ugh.
But the point is, there wasn't a lot. The Wii U, like, we got paid DLC stuff for the most part, a few little patches, but there wasn't. I can't, other than Hyrule Warriors. Now that you mention it, can you think of another one where someone's like, "Hey, here's a really good update. Just go download it. It's out today. Here's some awesome stuff."
Hey, but
I think that was one of the
Bastion,
main complaints about the Wii U, that the games didn't get updated, the system never got updated, like nothing ever happened.
Sonic
Yeah.
Lost World did get a couple cool little.
Yeah, I was like,
short
hey,
little
look,
things.
the Sonic game did
Sonic-
patches better than the Nintendo games.
Yeah, how
did.
about
The
that?
Lost World is a
But
shit game.
that was about 10 minutes worth
Wow.
of entertainment.
Man, I don't hear that shit. I heard someone call it a shit game. Get the fuck out of here.
It was great.
It's better than what we got now, isn't it? Mm.
Way better. That trash.
Yeah. I don't know why I love hearing Robert talk about Forces. For
It's
some
funny how much better Sonic Lost Worlds is to me now than it was when it came out, just because of the other trash games that came out afterwards.
you mean
Boom
like
and
Sonic Boom and
Forces.
what?
Sonic-
And seeing people said they said Lost World isn't good. Fuck you.
Sonic
But
Beast.
anyway, let's get back on point. Mario Maker did get a few cool little updates.
I was gonna say Mario Maker. Yeah,
That was the other one.
That's because that game launched bare bones. Like, it needed shit.
That
I
just
don't
was-
know.
Retro.
No, they
Retro,
just-
Retro out here throwing shade.
Really, the checkpoints is the only thing that really should have been there, and it wasn't. That was a really
What
cool
else?
addition, though. That
What
was a
about
game-
slopes? Did they ever add slopes to the game?
Nope.
That's in the
Yeah.
sequel, man. Chill out.
So-
We're putting that in the sequel, Mario Maker 2 Slope Edition.
The
Hopefully.
point
pretty
is,
sad.
whether it's third party or first party, like just the difference. I mean, we're not even at year one's coming up. What are we, 5-6 days away
Yeah,
from the 1 year anniversary?
it'll be on Saturday.
And to have this many games getting significant free updates, to me, it feels like a complete. And we already knew the Switch was a completely different feeling from the Wii U and stuff, but it gives me so much more confidence buying games, especially this third party games. Bethesda, like I have no problem. Like Wolfenstein 2 is probably day one now because of the support this game's got, and Rocket League's getting stuff. Like if they ever put out another game, I don't think they will. I think they're just going to push Rocket League. But the point is, it just feels so much better, and it's so cool that I was thinking about buying some games.
Payday 2.
Payday 2. And,
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow, isn't it?
And now I'm just like,
Like, that came
I
out
don't
last
need
week.
to. There's plenty
No,
of.
It's tomorrow in
20
America. I think.
27.
What?
Yeah,
how
tomorrow
come
it's
I
in
thought-
America. It comes out.
When did it
I
come
saw
out?
it in the store today already.
Yeah,
I was
that's
saying
what I'm
Europe. In Europe, it's already out. I don't think it's out in
Oh
America.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Now I take it
because
back.
we ain't shit.
27th,
apparently.
man. Tomorrow.
Americans ain't shit, man. I'm sorry.
Games come out on Tuesdays or Fridays.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So anyway, what do you guys think? Updates?
Yeah, I mean,
It's great.
I think Metal Mint mentioned Pikmin 3 got some free multiplayer maps.
Oh
and
yeah,
whatnot.
it did.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was another one. But it's very,
So mostly,
very.
you guys were mostly naming Nintendo
Yeah.
first party games.
Well, it's also
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah.
that everybody also just keeps naming like DLC kind of stuff, but like on the Switch, there's like so many games that actually have
It's not
like,
really
for example, like
updates.
frame rate boost and resolution boost, like
Mhm.
Bomberman. Even I think a lot of devs like they launch their games, and then they keep working on it, and then discover more how to handle the Switch, and they're like, oh, we could still do this, and then they actually do it.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the reason is, but they say, oh, they put the game out now. Oh, it's sold. It
Yeah.
actually sold really well. Maybe we should do more stuff to it
That's a
to
good point.
keep the sales going and keep it in people's, keep it in people's, what do you call that? Mind.
Radar?
Mhm.
Have
Mind
mind
share.
share. Yeah, mind share. So it makes sense to do that when your game is selling. You don't want to do that when you're just on the cusp of profit or you maybe even lost some money. Like, why would I fix anything in this?
Mhm. That's
I'm
true.
spending the money to do that.
But Bomberman was a good one too. Forgot about that completely.
Bomberman, yeah.
Still don't love the
It-
game. I'm actually going to post it on eBay. I tried a third time playing it. Just doesn't do anything for me. But
Yeah.
anyway, I appreciate what even though it's like 2 gigs of taking up internal memory, which I'll free up. But that's the one downside is
Jesus Christ.
I appreciate it.
He's like, I appreciate it. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much we'll put it on eBay.
that is one of the downsides though, is it does take up your memory. If you're somebody without a SD card or something, that could be problematic. But it's I didn't even think about the sales of these games being a bigger factor. I don't think Doom probably sold that well, but it's still smart of them to do it knowing they got another game coming.
You know what makes me angry? that potentially FIFA 18 sold better than Doom.
That's, I mean,
Feels like
now I don't think it did at full price, but it's got a significant price drop in Europe and
Well, that's
stuff,
what
in
pisses
Japan,
me off.
and even in the US. So
'Cause I don't think it deserves the fucking money.
On the eShop over here, it's super expensive, but today in the store you could buy it for like 20 or 30 bucks
Yeah, I think
new
it's like-
still.
Wow.
it got a
I mean, even with the price drop, I'm still surprised it's selling that well anyway. Because you would think everybody already has FIFA on their other consoles. So all of a
Yeah, but
sudden
you
the
can't
price
take the other
drops
console
and it
with
sells
you.
like gangbusters.
I mean, that's a game that didn't do something that could have got a purchase from me. If a month later or whatever, they're like, hey, here's our friends lobby system. Not that I know any friends that have FIFA. Still, that the principle, it's the principle. If they just said, we're going to support this game, you guys want friends lobby, here it is. And then now it's $30. I could see myself buying it for 23 after my Best Buy discount. But they're not going to add stuff, and not going to do anything. That just left it.
Yeah, I would say NBA is a better purchase.
And you're like, fuck you, NBA added, they added friends lobby and stuff, which a lot of these games, it could be because they want to get their game out and they had to put it out, and then Nintendo did that with the Wii U with Splatoon, and
well, at least they updated the game.
Yeah, they updated it, and now I don't know anybody complaining about NBA, and I think all the complaints have been addressed, all the problems.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything.
It just feels to me, because the Wii didn't have updates and stuff. It didn't have the memory and stuff, so they couldn't do it. And then the Wii U was like the first system that could do it, but we didn't see any of it. So as a Nintendo gamer who mainly plays on Nintendo systems, I'm for the first time when we're really getting what I feel like is the proper post-game launch support, not just paid DLC and stuff, but hey, we're gonna improve the game even if it played great in day one. Like, we're just gonna continue to work on it. You didn't think you needed something, but we're still gonna give you gyro aiming or bump up the resolution of Rocket League. I was perfectly happy with my purchase of Rocket League the way it is, and it's just new and kind of exciting to see how it's Switch owners are being treated with these game updates.
The only thing I didn't like about Rocket League, but we're getting that now, it was that it didn't have the video capture feature at launch.
I wish it had that. We were playing, and was it Retro and Clocked It, and I believe.
Yeah.
And there was a last second goal that was 99% of the ball was dark, and then it ended the match, and I captured it, said won or whatever, and then you could see that in the background, you could see that ball just so close to one more goal. That would have been a perfect moment to capture. So I can't wait for them to add that. Hopefully it doesn't seem to affect any of the games that have it. I don't know how it can just constantly be recording and and not affect the games at all. So you'd think it would have cut into Breath of the Wild or
I'm surprised with. I'm really curious how smooth that will go with Rocket League when you have 8 people online at the same time. If it won't jitter shit up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much your internal memory it's running through to always capture that 30 seconds. So I think that would be a great addition. There's just so many cool moments, and saving replays. It's just not
kind of a hassle.
It is. So that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, anybody else have any thoughts? Games you have that have gotten updates? I know Terrell, if Xenoblade's update would have hit, we would have had a lot. You probably would have had a lot more to say, but
yeah, I mean, just even talking about, because it's not like this is the only update Xenoblade's gotten. Xenoblade's gotten a few bunch of smaller updates that have done improvements, like how what was it? I think we were skipping a lot of the bullshit ass dialogue or just long animated cutscenes.
And X taking you right to where you're at on the map.
God, see, I keep forgetting that wasn't even a day one feature.
That's a huge feature.
And then the other one was the update they did to Tiger, which is for Poppy, your artificial blade you get early in the game, putting in an easy mode for people so they could still grind out and get the crystals they needed to jack her up in terms of competency. I like all these small little changes, and that they came pretty quickly. I mean, think about the game's only been out for 3 months, and it's already. And I think this will be at 1.3 update and shit. or even Arms. God, Arms is literally like
Arms really.
Arms to me, that's almost a completely different game. I think that's right now the only game right now on the Switch that you can customize your button layouts completely now. And that wasn't an update that hit until I think like November or December.
So let me ask everybody this. Do you feel Splatoon 1 was a big influence on why we're seeing? Because, I mean, Smash did it as well. Smash launched, didn't have everything they wanted. They updated it later. But I think it feels like ever since Splatoon 1 came out, as far as Nintendo, and I kind of was worried that would be this, like we'd get half of Breath of the Wild and then we'd have to wait. That didn't happen. So the fear I had of it didn't happen, but the benefits seem to be happening where people are like, you want to play this game now, like Arms with 10 characters, and then in a couple months there'll be 15, 16 characters, or would you rather just wait till December to play Arms? Like if those two choices, I like the way for a fighting game that works really good. Maybe not so for like if they tried that with the sequel, just like Splatoon 2, like I don't understand why they still had limited maps and stuff. Like it doesn't work in the same, like a sequel. I don't want to see Arms 2 come out and have 10 characters and then they add all the old characters back. That I don't want to see that happening. But I do feel like Splatoon maybe had an impact on the industry, especially for Nintendo games on the Switch. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think so much. I don't think because we all believe that Splatoon should have pretty much everything there day one, but I think it was also rushed. I think that game was also rushed because
2. You're talking?
Yeah, 2. I'm sorry. Splatoon 2 was rushed because they wanted to meet that big major first party game throughout the year type of deal, and maybe they weren't as confident in Arms because it was a new IP and it was a fighting game, so that's why you didn't have so much space in between those games. So, but Splatoon 3 better have none. It's like it really better have a whole lot more going for it than 2 does over 1. Because the fatigue is starting to set in for me. And some of the stuff that was annoying in 1 and it's rearing its head in 2 and stuff like that.
And I see a new weapon. It's another lunar blaster. I'm like, come on. Like, really? That's a new weapon at this point? But
there is a ton of stuff in this game at this point. So, but there's a ton of stuff that's not there.
So do you feel like
game like this?
You feel like Splatoon 1 being successful in the way they did it? I mean, it's not like Arms is really the only other one that kind of feels like it took the same formula as far as releasing here's new characters and stuff. But
I would argue it did better. The problem is I think that game suffered more because it didn't have its hook wasn't as good as Splatoon's was.
Right.
Because I honestly think
for a lot of people.
Yeah, because I think Splatoon has a better hook for most people, but I think Arms did a better job at listening to the fans and adding updates. I mean, for God's sakes, they fucking went out of the way and made a tournament mode. It's purely for tournament play, where it had all the arms unlocked automatically. Like that shit. I wish to God Splatoon would just do, not even for me, but just for the scene. Like, Splatoon aggravates me on just on the update level.
I didn't even try that tournament. Can you do that over online, or is it local only?
No, you can do it online.
God, we should. It's Arms is just a forgotten game.
It pisses me off. It was so well supported, but god damn it, I feel it's so neglected. In my
too many great games came out afterwards. That's just a bummer. But like I said, I like that they did that, but I don't want that to be like Mario Kart 9. Better not be. Here's 15 characters. Here's some carts, customization, and the next month you'll get all new carts and new characters. Like, I don't want that for every freaking game series, and I honestly would be disappointed if Mario Kart 9 did something like that.
Well, to be fair, they've primarily been doing it on new IPs. Like, they haven't really done it on their well-established franchises.
Doesn't mean they won't, though.
I mean, you're right. I'm just saying, at least in terms of history so far, It's primarily just been the new IPs they've been doing it with.
Yeah, hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, I don't want to. I
Or
really
goes
don't
away.
want.
Well, Splatoon needs to move out of that box.
Yeah, Splatoon is no longer a new IP. So
Yeah, it needs to get the fuck out of there because I'm tired of it having the excuse of it's still new. I'm like, no, it shouldn't have. You shouldn't have done it for the same game for the first place.
It's a unique ass shooter in its own right, obviously, but it should have stuff that other shooters have.
Yeah,
at this point.
That's because their fucking developers are stubborn about dumb shit.
What's wrong with just having a game mode based on splatting the other teammates so that you still gotta splat the ground to maneuver and move?
Right, you still gotta do that.
Why can't they just have like a team splat match? Splat match.
Because they're fucking stubborn as shit.
Because there's people like me who actually genuinely enjoy just splatting other people more so than just covering the ground. Like I'm totally over just covering the ground.
You hear the developers when they first talked about Splatoon 1 and how they don't want people to be upset and stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to do that. They're trying to do that blue ocean strategy, but like
they can have that mode, but don't make it every once a day for 4 hours. You
mean the same thing they could have done with Samarin, where Samarin shouldn't be locked behind time and shit.
If you don't want me to be upset, stop kicking me out of goddamn matches. How about that?
That's what pisses me off.
In a good lobby, and then all of a sudden, booted.
That's what pisses me off about the whole ARMS and Splatoon comparison. To me, Splatoon still wants to be like that old school Nintendo stubbornness about dumb shit, and ARMS went out of its way to kind of try to appeal to everybody and kind of make everybody happy. So it pisses me off that look at all these sales Splatoon's got, and I'm like, it probably doesn't deserve as much as it got. To be fair, I think it got. Unfortunately, it's a shooter. It's a shooter in 2018, and people still like shooters, and I think that's part of it. I'm not
ARMS doesn't.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if ARMS doesn't hit 2.5 million, we probably won't even get a sequel.
I would hope we get a fucking sequel.
I'm worried. I'm worried that
I am worried personally.
I think the sales I think the sales might be good enough for them to consider it, but I'm guessing the activity online, if it's as low as I think it is, that might be like, let's let this one what's the word?
Let it sit for a while.
Sit,
it's
but
not really. It's not really Nintendo's fault either. It's like obviously.
Well, I would argue it's kind of their fault.
Maybe the timing of the game is their fault.
Well, I wouldn't even say the timing. I would say the way they marketed it. They marketed it as a motion control fighting game, and no one fucking plays it as a motion control fighting game anymore.
I do.
Well, listen, you were the 1%. You were the 1%.
One person out of this group. Are we a good test market for everybody who plays ARMS?
I'd be shocked if it isn't.
I would highly suggest most people play on Pro Controller.
Yeah, I have no way to confirm, but I've just playing other people. You can.
It just doesn't feel right to me.
Really? I mean, some people move so fast. I'm like, I can't do that with the Joy-Cons. You can't be that. I don't think you can be that agile, moving and stuff, and precise. So if I had to guess, and there's no confirmation, I would say less than 20% of people use Joy-Cons.
Yeah,
I'm where I would rather lose than to play with a damn Pro Controller.
Well,
it's just not fun for me. It's just not fun.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that the majority of gamers who play fighting games don't like motion controls.
Yeah. It's not about liking motion controls. It's just
part
the game plays so well with the
gyro controls.
That's
I mean, for Splatoon, that you could get away with doing that but what I'm saying is like marketing, the way they marketed the game. I think part of the misconception was that this is a fighting game that it's encourages motion controls. Nothing wrong with motion controls.
Sound like Johnny Five over there.
I get what you're saying though. They really pushed it as a motion, not gyro, but full on motion punching and stuff, and they continually show it that way. And
because it looks more fun that way. God damn it!
Well, I mean, it's not terrible to have it as.
It looks fun to some people, T, but honestly, I can understand, even though I don't agree with it, like that turning off more people than it probably should.
Well, you guys are lame.
All I'm saying is, I feel like it hurt the game
on this motion train.
Yeah, when you're showing I hate how people hate seeing kids, but when you see not young kids, but early teens, kids throwing their arms out. That's not.
Oh no,
Unfortunately, in today's
I'm a grown ass
society,
man. I saw kids in the commercial. I
Yeah.
can't buy that shit.
You know what makes it worse is that even like when Nintendo promoted it through their own like tournament and shit, the only way you could play the game was through motion controls. And I'm like, it would have really helped that game if you at least gave people the option to play with pro controllers.
I think I mean I think it sucks that that's the truth, but I think that is truth that a lot of people saw that and probably were a little worried because for whatever reason people are just really scared of motion controls. I don't know.
They're afraid of their manhood being disappearing
Something.
as soon as they pick up a kiddie controller.
And I played that way until I just kept losing and losing, and then to me it's fun to play that way. Like it works really well, and watching Yabuki or I think that's his name, the creator, play and look how good he was with them. It's possible. I just didn't have the dedication to get good that way. And once you get good with the pro controller, it does feel like a different game. And that's when it clicked with me. And that's when, I got almost 70 hours in the game, and I would say at least 60 of them are with the pro controller or when it's docked. Because when I play in portable mode, that was the way I want. That's basically why I started playing. I was like, well, in portable mode, when I'm at work, I want to be able to play arms without swinging my arms and stuff. And I just got good that way. So that wasn't exactly where I thought this topic would go, but it was interesting.
Did you guys talk about putting bots? Because I saw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Say what?
Splatoon 2 would be nice if someone bailed out. They could fill it with an AI, or another person could jump in, like with Rocket League. It's just seamlessly in and out. Someone leaves, puts the AI in place until somebody gets back into the match.
That sounds like a smart decision. We're not about that life.
I always love how it's done in Rocket League. It's so satisfying when you go into a match is already starting, and you like get boosted into the existing AI car and shit. Like I love that stuff.
And then you score a goal immediately. That's happened once.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about not having bots is that we know that the game could do them well, because if you play the story mode, there's some really good AI in those
exactly
that you face.
And they could make them even more.
Yeah, they can make them better, right?
At least cover some ground. It's
right.
Because I've got killed by the damn Octolings a few times in the single player. So it's like, just throw that in place. That's an update. That's something they could add to the game down the. After it came out, they could have said, let's work on this. And no, we're just going to continually give you Splatoon 1 content, and you guys should be happy with that. So because it's new content. So
they needed to flesh arms out a little bit more too. Story mode, background on that. More background from the characters and that kind of stuff. I think Nintendo fans would have appreciated that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just sad that there's just so many other options. I want to play ARMS, but I just it's too far down on my list of priorities of gaming right now. It's like I still barely touch Balloon World and Odyssey. I'm super loving the second playthrough even more than the first time. If we redid our top 5 games of 2017, it might have to switch 2 and 3 around. That's how much better my second playthrough of Odyssey is. Like it's so good. I want to play that Doom with this gyro aiming. I'm almost to the end. All I can think about is starting over from the beginning with gyro aiming and on a harder difficulty. I can't wait to start over. Rocket League, it's like at least 4 or 5 times a week I'm playing that. It's so good. And unfortunately, Payday 2 is no longer on my list of games. 2 reasons.
Should have told me that before I went out and bought the shit.
You bought it?
Yeah.
The main reason is it's just so focused on co-op. Like, you can play offline with bots and stuff, or then you can play with randoms, but with no communication. People said Splatoon needed communication. No. This game, Payday 2 needs
Payday
communication.
definitely needs communication.
And I'm just like, I got all these other games I'm really enjoying. B, like to rely on other people to like play a game.
He's throwing
that's not
shots
gonna
at
happen.
us.
We
Right
don't
now.
trust nobody. We don't trust these hoes.
You know,
Yeah,
if
there was like 4 or 5 people that I knew. You know,
if
that
all of
play
you
games
guys
with.
got it, I would get it and have pretty safe, bet that I'd at least have one person to play with at any given point when I wanted to.
Peer pressures with them.
But
Well, we were pretty much all gonna get
That's
it.
some bullshit.
Yeah,
We
no.
talked about all getting it now. Nobody's buying it.
there was 3 of us going to get it, but I thought I was told you I was going to wait and see what the game was like. I didn't know there wasn't really anything else to do with the game. I didn't do
I
any
told you before. I didn't make no real commitment, though.
like I didn't know I didn't have any anything to do like single player. But it is what it is. Interesting that Sumo Digital did the port job. They're the ones that did Snake Pass. So
Yeah, it's interesting. Who would have done that?
That's kind of weird. That kind of came out of nowhere. But it looks like a pretty good port.
So they went from snakes to robbing banks.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Oh,
but it's just hard to it's hard for all of us to schedule consistently, and with a game that pretty much requires the co-op and stuff. I just can't do it. So that's it for that. Sorry, T. You were
I
probably
don't
gonna
give
buy.
a shit. I'm still gonna play. I'm play my ass off.
You were gonna buy it anyway.
I buy everything apparently. So
Terrell, your mic's breaking up again. So it's definitely not any better. So yeah, it's just circling back. We had the Bomberman update was a major one. I mean, they really patched that thing. I mean, it needed it. That was a launch game, so it really needed it. Fast RMX actually got some cool updates, new tracks and stuff. And no one was playing it, and it didn't really get anybody to replay the game again. Unfortunately, but they did add some new tracks and continue to improve the game, so that was great. Then we had Odyssey, Doom, Rocket League's getting one, Xenoblade. I'm thinking, for me personally, the Doom one's has the biggest impact. I think that's changes the game for the better.
Rhyme.
Significant. Rhyme, yeah, that one
Huge.
made it playable. It sucks that one's kind of the game didn't really work properly, and now
It's going from like ass to butt.
But still, they didn't just give up on it. Retro, I know you're big into Bomberman. What would you put as the most significant update for games that you have that got them?
I always like it, like what Bomberman did, and there was another game when they seriously up the frame rate from 30 to 60, for example. I really like that stuff. The Zelda thing where they really adjusted the frame rate a lot and stuff. Like, I'm not really about frame rate, but there's a difference between liking 30 and playing choppy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Breath of the Wild, and they really fixed that rather well. And yeah, I'm seriously really excited for what Rocket League is gonna do, because they're gonna do graphics overhaul, frame rate overhaul. They're adding the video shit. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah,
that to me that'll probably end up being my favorite one once they actually do it and see how it works. But anybody else, like T, what would you say for games you have that you played? What's out of the updates? Which one is the biggest impact for you?
Definitely WWE 2K18. No, I don't know. I mean, I guess probably I wouldn't say Zelda, because Zelda, for me, it was only that certain area in the woods.
Which still isn't any really.
Which still isn't, but it is a lot better. But I don't know. What's That's a good question. I don't know. Probably. I guess the biggest game changing one for me has to be Rhyme, because I just would not touch that game in the state that it was in. And when I saw the comparison video that Terrell linked, I was sold. So, I mean, to go from no, I'm not touching that trash, to buying the game, I think that's a pretty big update.
There's another game that actually had a pretty nice update, but I haven't used it yet, which is why I'm not thinking about it. It's the Mario and Rabbids. They added multiplayer.
Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario and Rabbids, and like they improved some stuff.
They added like versus multiplayer mode.
Yeah, even little things like hints and whatnot in the title, like on your load screens and stuff. Like it just looks cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks a lot cleaner. So
yeah, I kind of wish, like, speaking of Sumo Digital, I kind of wish they would have made some improvements to Snake Pass after it came out. Like I don't even think there was the only update was the one that changed the stupid icon to that ugly ass.
Are you over the Doom one yet?
Well,
bothered you.
Nintendo does have a policy that it's supposed to look like the box art, so they followed that. But the old one was so cool; like it looked so awesome having that, just the white Doom letters to the black background with the one of the that particular demon's name.
Oh well, what is Sonic Mania doesn't look like the box art.
So I don't mind this one as much, but I did really love the original icon for Doom. Just looks so cool next to Mario Odyssey, having that just.
It didn't bother you as much because it wasn't like some big stupid what's his name's face or something.
It wasn't just like a zoom in on the main character's helmet, or
like the 2D version, like from the original Doom or something. It's big face on the icon, so it didn't bother me as well because it is the box art.
So Terrell, your mic working? It's muted.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay, hold on. What?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's not like you don't have Doom or Rhyme or some of these other games, but out of the games you do have that gotten content updates, what do you think's the best one for you?
It's hard. It's between ARMS and Xenoblade for me personally. Fuck. I want to lean towards ARMS having better updates because ARMS' updates made me go back and put that game back in my
plus they added replays. It saves replays and stuff.
Yeah, like to me,
the badges.
I just think it was I just think ARMS consistently had updates that made the game more and more either accessible, enjoyable, or you just wanted to play it. The problem is just the staying power that ARMS has. That's ARMS' biggest issue. But I think that was the one, and then right under it be Xenoblade, which has made the game more and more streamlined to the point where when the next one's supposed to come out this week. If it comes out this week, I would almost argue that Xenoblade will probably beat ARMS purely for that damn update in itself. But that's my RPG bias, and I don't know. And fuck. It's that moment where you get so caught up you have to stop for a second, like, man,
he's thinking about waifus or something.
It's not even the waifus. I mean, that's just Xenoblade as a game. I'm talking about like just in terms of supporting the game, and I don't know what it is. ARMS is literally that game for me that I hate the fact that it hasn't done better than what it currently has. Like it actively ticks me off that the game hasn't even broken 2 million yet.
Yeah, if somebody like gets the game and is like, "Hey, link me or not link me, tag me on Twitter, playing ARMS, you want to play?" Like, I'm just waiting for an excuse to play the game. I tried getting people to play before I kind of gave up on it towards the end of the year, and it's so hard to convince people to put that game in. With Xenoblade was out and Odyssey's out and Zelda DLC, so
yeah, people were playing Doom and LA Noire and shit.
When it comes to ARMS, I still, because that's how it happened to me, and I think that's still the main issue. I blame Splatoon coming out basically at the same time.
Stardew Valley and Golf Story, those games are like in the top.
Yeah, there's so many fucking games that came out around the same time, and I feel like ARMS didn't get the chance to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, part of the reason why Splatoon did so well when it first came out was because it was on a dead console. No, I'm just playing. It came out and got a good few months to itself. ARMS came out, barely got like a month. Maybe a month.
Exactly.
And then Splatoon came out and just said, "Fuck y'all, this is my money." And took everything from that damn game.
Yeah. It's so sad. I'm not like you guys. You guys probably bigger ARMS fans than I am. Not to say I'm not. I like ARMS a whole lot, but it's just sad because the game is so good and so polished.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, they kept updating it, and there's all these cool new characters, and it's one of the best looking games. I don't think it gets credit for that either.
No.
One of the best looking Switch games out there, and it's just sad. It really is sad to see it kind of struggle.
I mean, yeah, you're talking
about Arms was the first game where I thought, okay, that is like a next gen Switch game.
Yeah.
Before
It's
that,
still
we
one
had,
of the
Void
only
and
ones.
Zola.
I mean, to me, it's still the only one that feels that way, or other than maybe Odyssey.
Honestly, yeah.
That feels like, oh, this is a Switch game. I mean, you talk about polish, almost no loading times. Everything just works. There's really no glitches.
There's barely any lag in matches.
Lag every once in a while. You get some of the best lobby system I've ever seen.
I've never gotten booted from a match ever. I don't know.
I've seen some like where someone throws a punch and it's nowhere near me. All of a sudden, I'm being grabbed. Like the arm wasn't anywhere near me. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
I've seen some delay lag there.
it
But
has some issues, but it's nowhere near as bad as other games.
Navigating the menu. The replay system, once they implemented that, the spectating when you play arena mode, when two people fight and the other two watch, it's just instantly changing from camera angles, different characters. It's just everything about that game.
And by the way, it has one of the catchiest fucking
the
theme songs of all time.
And it's just the motion controls work great. The standard controls work great. I mean, just the polish on that game it's really the most polished game, in my opinion, on the Switch, with Odyssey probably being second. Like, there's just no issues.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And that's why it ticked me off at how I wouldn't say poorly, because I mean, any new IP selling over 1 million on one console is an accomplishment in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it deserved more than that. It should at least been at 2 million at this point.
It probably should have launched. It would have been. I think it would have been a nice
launch title.
Oh yeah, it was launch time, man, boy.
It would have sold crazy.
At the latest, it should.
I'm mad that 1-2 Switch currently is sold more than it.
Yeah,
like that makes me sick.
Yeah, because that game, I swear, 1-2 Switch is one of those games that did not deserve nowhere near as that shit shouldn't even broken.
So you know what? The profit margins on 1-2 Switch over Arms are probably a lot higher than Nintendo.
Ugh.
And at the very latest, I think ARMS should have came out in early May, like a couple weeks after Mario Kart.
But what if it cannibalized the sales of
Mario Kart was not going to get. I mean, it wasn't going to hurt Mario Kart. Mario Kart.
Maybe Mario Kart would have hurt it. I don't know. It's like Mario Kart's the highest selling.
I don't think that would have.
I don't think so.
Mario Kart's
I think Splatoon hurt it more than Mario Kart.
For sure, Splatoon hurt it more.
So,
because Splatoon was more anticipated.
I think we just get some final thoughts. I got just a short story about Rocket League that I wanted to share, but I think we can do.
Well, you gotta give France some love though. Viva la France.
Oh yeah.
They represent.
1 mil.
Yeah, you gotta represent for France, man, because they doing it out there, ain't that right? Retro, they doing it out there big for the Switch.
I'm surprised that when I go to the store now that I almost have to fight sometimes to look to my fucking games when I was in the Wii U era. I was all chill, I had the whole hour to myself looking comedy to the games and shit, and now all these people walking in front of me, it's so fucking annoying.
That happened to me this weekend too.
I wonder how that compares to other consoles in France. I haven't seen any other numbers.
Well, they said it was it's like one of the highest selling all time, right? As far as
I think.
Let me go back and find the article while you guys are talking.
It obviously killed. It passed the Wii U sales last year.
I think in France it's getting close already to the Xbox One numbers.
Yeah, it's about to beat the Xbox One. I think.
I have no idea how good PlayStation did. I'm pretty sure that.
I think Xbox One is 1.3 million.
How could Xbox have? I don't even was shocked that France even sold that well in France. Really?
Okay, here we go. Switch is sold over 9,000 units. It turns out
it's because if you have like the PS4 and the Xbox, I think the Xbox back then was a bit cheaper or something. And if FIFA comes out, people buy that trash. So
it's hard to make out because apparently I went to go look at the source, and the source is apparently in French, so that doesn't help me.
Yeah, not gonna work.
You can always link it to me. I can translate that.
Oh right, I'm fucking stupid.
We got a guy that can speak French somewhere around here.
You know why? Because he never speaks French, so I forget.
Yeah. Well, he ain't gonna speak it to us American idiots.
I ain't shit. People don't mind me. I'm just fucking stupid.
We barely can speak one language right.
Chill out. Listen. Some of us use slang and some of us just ain't educated. All right, just chill out.
My Spanish is about 30% there.
Yeah.
Well, that's 30% than me.
Robert's English is about 30% there.
Wow.
When he's doing his final thoughts, it seems to escape him.
Wait, he goes on but I feel like that's why
like,
he has the best. He has the best final thoughts. Anyway,
doo on Robert
you gotta try to top him every week.
That's because Juice castrated him.
oh God damn, Jesus!
Because I told him he couldn't talk about movies.
Yeah.
I got you. Took me a second to get where you were going with that, but you're right. He's really lost his way now. I said no movie.
Well, yeah, because he's not playing games.
What?
Oh my God!
I played Doom in Rocket League.
Like a week ago.
Robert was so like tuned out the last hour playing Rocket League. It was like he wasn't even there.
I was very tired, man.
Sleep gaming.
That's the Twitter post that's in French.
And we were losing like a bitch.
It had like
suffering.
It had like 500,000 sales in the last 2 months alone in France. The Switch.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Unless it got restocked or something, or maybe it's just
Yeah,
Odyssey.
2 months. The fuck?
Yeah, that's what that part says that you just sent me.
Okay. Jesus.
That's what I said. Nobody wanted to believe me when I said it could catch up to the Wii U after Christmas. Like Christmas is crazy, and it was obvious that Nintendo was gonna like seriously prepare for that shit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of expecting a Wolfenstein 2 announcement this week.
So,
A release date probably coming out really quick, like March.
like they stuff dropped Doom on our ass.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they went ahead and I think Reset Era also had a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? More information on that whole France, how well it was selling in France. Just in comparison, the only two consoles that sold faster than the Switch so far is the PS4 and the Wii. The Xbox One took 3 years to get 1 million in France.
Yeah. It's only at 1.3. So
it's about to catch the Xbox, and then like I guess PS4 would be next.
But I think we're gonna see that
What
a
is
lot
PS4
more.
at?
Because like I said, I think like I said,
Didn't say.
the Switch will catch up on the Xbox One at the end of the year. So I think we're gonna get that. Like France is probably one of the first ones, and then you're gonna get that everywhere else, like England and America and all that shit in Japan, where it's just gonna be catching up to the Xbox. I probably did in Japan already. Like catch up to the Xbox. Like I think that's the next.
Day one, probably.
I mean, the first hour it passed the Xbox Ones and 360s.
Making FIFAs for you guys.
The what?
EA will keep making FIFAs over there for you guys.
Oh yeah, congratulations. Piece of shit.
Enjoy. That's trash.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage. We're gonna keep getting these half-ass FIFAs. That's what's gonna happen.
That's it. That's all you're gonna get.
Man, I'm fucking mad, yo.
I wouldn't be shocked if FIFA 19 comes to the Switch and it's basically the same version, the same engine, no friends lobby, same shit. But
You can't get Burnout. I know you Nintendo fans want that Burnout. You can't have it, bitch.
So we can't get the game we want. We get all this bullshit though. All right, that's great. It's great.
I don't want that game anyway. It's the worst Burnout game of all.
I just want a Burnout game at this point, yo.
Yeah.
Fucking go and remaster an old one. I don't give a fuck.
Remaster 3. There you go. Burnout 3.
Man, just give me a good game. Shit.
I would rather have 2, but 3. I think 3 was like pretty much there. It was close to.
Welcome to the game wish list podcast.
Yeah, let's do that right now.
all right, let's do final thoughts. Let's start with Terrell. Go ahead.
Go. Good podcast. I'm always first for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I'm just not used to it. I don't like this attention, guys. Anyways, Xenoblade fans, it better be time this week. If it's not, we're gonna be mad as fuck. We got Payday 2 coming out tomorrow, and right, I guess we should talk. I am the anime guy, so I'll go ahead and mention this. They confirmed the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm trilogy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
for the
that.
Switch. Even though it seems like it's gonna be a bum ass port, just based off of what I saw, it's like sub 720p on handheld, and then like sub 1080p on docked, and then like it runs at 30 frames, and I'm like, these are PS3 games. You fucking kidding me?
Well, they were that on PS3.
Well, no, they ran better than that. I thought they ran at 60 frames.
I think I
I saw
remember.
someone saying it ran at 30 on PS3, but
Did it? Well, that's
I
a
remember being
bitch.
30 on PS3. Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like Doom. It'll be a smooth 30 frames.
Nah, well, you have people. You have.
And there are a lot of games you got to remember in the last that generation, 360 PS3. There were a lot of games claiming HD. Technically, they were, but we were talking about 540p on a lot of them games too.
Oh, that's true.
So-
which I think is actually what is running him on hand.
Right, so it might just be a straight up port.
It might just be, which is kind of annoying in its own right. I'm just gonna say this: it's cool, and I think Bandai's hoping for another DBZ Xenoverse situation where the game ends up selling way more than it really deserves to. I mean, look, if you enjoy Xenoverse, it's cool. But Xenoverse sold insanely well on the Switch, and it kind of doesn't make sense because the game
you should be doing better than that.
Yeah, like it's kind of ridiculous. But it's something I wanted to bring up because I am the anime guy, and that is something relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think we're getting Attack on Titan soon-ish.
My store had a release date for that. I think I saw it today. Fuck, I think it's seriously end of.
It's like
this month, end
it's
of
like
next
March, isn't it?
Yeah,
March
March 28th or something for us.
Yeah.
I think it was something like that.
Even though from what I've heard, supposedly that one's gonna be close to the PS3 port. This is my anime news update, folks, because I only get a little bit chance to do this, and I know just gonna cut me off soon. So,
well, I got actually one more topic before we get into anyone else's final thoughts.
Well, go ahead.
It would have been
Christ.
perfect if I had known this when we were talking about the Hollow developer, even though they released the game, I was kind of feeling like getting some smoke blown up, Nintendo fans' asses. So the Rainway app, you guys all know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
The advertisement that showed mainly playing on the Switch, their little promo video.
I know this is
They're constantly posting screenshots with the Switch.
Yeah.
So let me read some tweets here.
Yeah, here we go.
After they initially said, we'll answer some questions, but something to the effect where they didn't want any questions about the Switch version. So they finally came down to it. The ball is in Nintendo's court. They have to approve us before we can do anything else. And then it said, even if Nintendo approved us at launch, it still wouldn't be out today. Listen to this. We made it clear that our main focus was on PC to PC streaming. We have to improve our tech before moving on to other consoles.
Oh, God.
Liars.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Liars.
Oh, God.
Are you...
Don't. This is what we're doing.
Like...
Let me make another video.
Eat a dick. That's
my line, damn it.
Just what we're talking about, Project Cars and Colonial Marines.
Using the Switch Shine to glow.
Exactly. How much?
That's all that is.
And it worked. They got a lot of attention from that.
It's something that I was never too interested in,
Yeah, I don't
but
really care.
every single time it was, oh look, we have this, we have like this game running on the Switch, this game running on the Switch, here's the Switch. I thought that was a thing for the Switch.
Yeah, you think the Switch was the lead platform as much as and now they just pulling this shit? Like, get out of here.
Wow. I mean, you're talking about showing multiple, like, how's the input lag? Oh, we got it down to almost nothing. Like, you're just straight up lying to people.
Lying.
That's a damn shame.
I hope that shit backfires.
Who cares about PC to PC? Like, what good does that do?
Who's gonna do that?
You already got a PC. Why do I need to stream it to a different PC?
You know what happened? They came to the realization that they more likely isn't going to get approved, and they're like, we're only doing this on
from the
PC.
beginning, though.
They just said that they made it clear their main focus was PC. No, they didn't make that clear. They made it clear that they showed off the Switch version over and over and over.
Yeah, PC to Switch. That was their main focus.
I didn't
Like,
even
that's
know
what
they needed approval from Nintendo.
That's the
I thought they're
appeal.
just gonna toss it on a cart and then it works.
That's the
No,
appeal of
I mean,
Rainway
it wouldn't be like
and
an
Switch. Is that Switch is portable, and you can take your PC game
That's a
anywhere in
damn
your living room or where else. Like that was the main appeal. Nobody cares about PC to PC. Get out of here. That's bullshit. Like enough with the bullshit, man.
God, where's that? I wish I could find that.
I'm
First
fucking
look at
done.
Rainway.
I'm
All
done.
right, I'm going to share this in the chat. And let's see. Let me make sure it's the right one. Tell me where this is. All right, here's a link. Tell me where this is clear that it's PC And let me tell you which point to jump to because it is on like
Dude, there were interviews with multiple Nintendo YouTubers. Like what?
Jump to the 40-second mark because she's got like some NVIDIA Shield thing. But now they're both playing on Switch. Literally see Nintendo Switch on the back of the thing clearly in this promo. This is Rainway's official YouTube channel. And you're telling me you clearly made
automatically right there.
It even starts with the Switch. It's the first thing he picks up.
I mean, absolute bullshit. Like, I don't know if they're gonna sell this app or how it's even supposed to work.
It's supposed to be free, like a free app that they're gonna put on the Switch.
I mean, now they're showing Xbox One. Like, if you're gonna be like, hey, this is what we hope to achieve, then say that, but don't show this and then say your main focus was always PC to PC. That's just fucking stupid.
I've seen OJ with videos. I've seen RGT85. They've interviewed talking about the Switch, and it's less like, come on, you know what the appeal was.
Who cares about, like I said, playing on another PC from PC? Like, that makes no sense.
It's a waste of time. Why would you even do that?
But anyway,
PC to your laptop, I guess. But
you know, it's just some of what these people try to get away with. They always trying to use Nintendo and Nintendo fans to, gain some kind of notoriety or get in people's news feeds and stuff. Like somebody said way earlier when we were talking about, I forget what we're talking about, probably with those indie games. That stupid. What was that one that was before the Switch or right
Seasons
after
of Heaven?
Seasons of Heaven.
There's apparently Super Metal Day did an interview with the guy. I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, basically they said that was going to be part of my final word, even bastards. I was going to say because what they confirmed it is not gonna come out before 2020. Because the first book is going to come out this year. It's going to be 3 books, and he confirmed he's going to launch the game at the very earliest when the 3rd book drops. And he confirmed that the trailer we've seen so far was a PC build engine, and that the game it's still going to look okay and has the same gameplay, but it's definitely not going to look like that.
Oh, no shit.
I mean, it fits right into what we've been talking about.
This is bullshit at the bullshit.
You remember guys saying, "Oh my god, it looks better than Zelda."
Looks better than Zelda. Yeah.
Oh, fucking! I think
it wasn't running on the Switch. How about that?
And God, that just. But we learned. I've learned my lessons on this stuff.
Somebody should be able to sue these motherfuckers with this stuff. Like just mention it. Oh, this is coming out on Switch. Like, and they don't have any kind of dev kit or anything. Nintendo should be able to put their ass in court over that.
If I was Nintendo, I would that Rainway app commercial showing the Switch playing PC gaming, I would fucking make them take it down. I would
take that shit down. We didn't approve that stuff.
Bullshit. So Retro, you want to keep going with your final thoughts? I know that was one of them, so might as well keep going.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention that, and I was gonna mention that a game came out. I don't know, many of you probably won't care, this month or a week ago or something, for the Switch, like the what's it called, the Monster Motocross game, and that shit looks so fucking beautiful. Like, I like those bike type games, and yeah, I have already seen it in the store, and it's like for $40 or something, and I think that looks fucking breathtaking, and that has such cool gameplay. Like, I can't wait to.
What's it called?
So I'll keep forgetting it because it's from Monster, the stupid energy drink. It's like an official licensed game.
I forgot about that one.
Monster Motocross, something like that. But it is so insanely filled with content and customization, and that game just looks amazing. And if people like Excite Bike, I think that's the game you should definitely pick up.
Monster Energy Supercross.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's a licensed game, so you probably just turn off right there. Most of you like, oh no.
It's $40 in store over here. Like, it's not even that.
That trailer's probably not even close to running on Switch though. Like,
I've seen Switch footage already. You start to see, because it's pretty new. Like, you're starting to see a lot of Switch footage now online.
Oh, because this reveal trailer is definitely running high-end PC that I'm watching. So let me see if I can find Switch. Monster Energy
For
Super.
example, for comparison, there's another motor racing game out on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
GPX3 or something, and that game looks like a PS3 game in
it
comparison.
does look pretty bad. The Monster Energy second look.
I think it's so funny that this Rainway commercial too looks very much like a Switch
one.
Yeah.
It looks so much like it. It's just like sue
It's so
these motherfuckers
pathetic, man.
yesterday.
Fucking.
Sue these bitches yesterday, man.
I mean, yeah, it looks better than that other one, but after watching high-end PC footage and then going right to Switch, it don't look bad though.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good.
It kind of looks like how the character models kind of. I don't know if that's supposed to be his clothes kind of moving in the wind or something. It kind of looks a little weird, but
Monster Energy Supercross.
yeah.
Yeah, and at first, I would end with that. At first, I was also kind of excited for Payday to play with you guys, but then I was like, man, about Faye and Mulaka's gonna come out, Kirby's gonna come out. I'm not buying like a game that we might play once per month, perhaps, because Rocket League is fun to play with people you don't know because you have quick, easy commands. But I don't want to talk to like 10-year-old bitches online.
I'll just play with bots. Fuck y'all.
I will say this Jeff Evans YouTube channel still looks and plays like crap. That's what he's saying. Monster Hunter Energy Supercross or Monster Energy Supercross. Monster Energy Supercross. So I mean, that's just one person's take. It doesn't look amazing.
That's because a lot of people talk about the gameplay because they used to ATVMX
arcade.
And yeah, exactly. And those games have, it's like people who complain about Brawl because Melee had like wave dashing and shit. The specific techniques that are not in this game, it's a completely different series. Like there's people bitch.
Because Excitebike 64 especially was not a pick up and play game.
No, that was tough.
It wasn't like an arcade, like the original ones. Like it was a simulation game, and I think that turned some people off.
I mean, if you had really good controls, the game could look like this and still be great, but it looks like definitely some of the controls and animations don't look.
Well, it looks like the person that could just be the person playing it.
Could be, but
son. Like you can't tell by somebody else playing it. I'm not saying go buy it, but
definitely looks a little. Could use some polish, but I like this style game. Could be fun. Make it a little more arcadey. It's got looks like a track creator maybe. So. You know, I wouldn't mind games like that coming. So, if there's a good one in the works, it'd be.
We didn't get them on Wii U, so
we got 2 motocross games on Switch.
Already
look great, but
they might be trash, but they're there.
All right, Robert, you got anything to say non-movie related?
I'm so ready for this. Let's go, Robert. Don't disappoint me, Robert. Let's do this.
I mean. I got a game, which is a game called Life, and that game, man.
Oh wow,
that's my catchphrase. Life's a game.
But you know, to play to win, you gotta try to every day fall asleep.
Yeah, you got to get up to the plate and swing the bat if you're gonna hit a home run. You might swing, you might strike out, but you got to get up to the plate at least.
This is
what the fuck are we talking about right now?
We're talking about our dicks. Right? We're talking about our dicks against swing.
No.
Can we?
Oh my god.
Let's talk about succeeding in life.
You talking about yours, maybe?
Jesus Christ! Where's the weed at? Somebody pass the blunt. The fuck is going on right now?
But go watch Annihilation.
No, fucking do it. Fucking do it.
But yeah, enjoy. have a good one. And like I said, you may be on level, I don't know, 10,684 of life. You don't know. Every day's a new level. So,
oh man, what the hell going on with you right now?
So every day is a level, so that you'd be at however many days you've been alive. That's the level you're at.
Listen, at this point, you could have just stole my phrase, just play to win at this point.
365 times 19.
It's a grindy ass game right there.
It's a long ass game. Yeah,
I'm still trying to get up level 3, man.
It's a slow game, but there's always those little missions. And my mission.
Robert's on a mission. That's all we're gonna say, and then we'll move on.
This shit is too deep for me.
This guy's dumb.
All right, T, go ahead.
Philosophizing. I can't follow that. and whatever innuendos going on up in there. I'll just say, there's some cool games coming out. Make sure you guys be on the lookout, especially on the eShop. There's some cool stuff out there. I'm gonna be picking up some stuff because I buy everything. So I guess I'll be playing Payday 2 by my damn self.
Just like I was playing Federation Force.
Federation
Robert played.
Yeah, I played.
Me and Robert played once.
But damn, the 3DS. I mean, come on, man. Like that.
I think we all had the game, didn't we?
Yeah,
We all had it, but it was just like.
And then that one night, I beat the whole game. Remember?
I don't support bagging.
But anyway,
I think Payday 2 might be a little bit better than Federation Farce. I mean, as I always say, play Nintendo Foods and I'm out.
Oh god,
good stuff.
We got really dumb towards the end for some reason.
Shout out to Lil Cray, just joined the live chat. We playing some Rocket League here and there, a few matches the other night. Good stuff. He's pretty good. I think he might be slightly. At times, I swear he's way better than me, and other times I think we're about even. So, but yeah, props to him for jumping in and playing Rocket League. Retro Death and I and Clocked It played for a little bit early. Like for me, it was early evening Saturday, and we had some fun matches. But the story I wanted to share was after they left, and I think Lil Cray was done playing. Red Knight and I just played like, I don't know, 4 matches together because we were both on, sent him an invite. And so it threw us into a match. It was 9-0, blue team 9, orange team 0. It put us on the orange team.
Wow.
Of course, so we're in a 9-0 game. And as soon as I started, a goal got scored. And it was, the AI, whoever dropped out, I got to watch the goal. And it was 9-0 right there. And I'm thinking, oh, great, well, we're in here now. We can get some goals, just kind of see what we can do. And they scored, I think, 3 or 4 more goals on us. So it was like 13-0. But after every goal, when I was in there, this dude, I think it was like, I'm trying to remember his name, was like Thought or something uppercase. And then a name afterwards, and after the 4 or 5 goals I seen, spamming what a save over and over and over, and it was a PS wide net, so it was either a PC gamer or a Xbox guy, and I'm just like, you motherfuckers. And at the end, doing like super crazy celebrations, you just beat probably AI. You probably scored a bunch of goals on AI or whoever left before us. It was 9-0, and this dude's just getting all cocky. So I'm like, you know what? I'm hitting ready, and I'm hitting rematch because I want to see what these guys will do when we play a full match together. And
they beat you 25.
Dude, we beat them 7 or 8-0. I had 5 goals. I was clearing the ball constantly, and after every goal, I was hitting what a save. And then
revenge is sweet.
And then as the match was ending, I quickly opened my keyboard and I said, "Not so tough now." And then Red was like, "Damn," in the chat. that worthless little piece of shit left the match and didn't even rematch us again to see, best 2 out of 3. Even though the first game was a blowout already before we joined. Whooped the dude's ass.
Of course he did. Of course he left.
That was the best game I ever had because these guys were pretty good. And like, I'm hitting the ball off the wall, just doing this in crazy centering passes, and it's just amazing stuff. And it's like, that little bitch talking trash could not take it. He could dish it, but couldn't take it, and backed out. And it was just like, you pathetic little. I don't know.
It was just the icing on the cake for you.
It was awesome. It was just like, it was the perfect. It was my favorite moment in Rocket League so far. It was just so awesome because, we played people that are really good before. We play them again, and they might even beat us by more. Like, it's once the goals start happening, then they just keep happening. It's like, it's hard to stop. But it was so awesome, and just made it. I don't know if it was made it sweeter, but the fact that he couldn't handle it and jumped out was just kind of funny. It just really showed the lack of character someone has. So that was my little story, and I think I saved that. If I remember, I saved that match. I don't have a way to upload it other than off-screen footage with a camera. I could record it off my TV or something, but I'd love to show that to people someday and then, explain beforehand what happened before. And I think it'd be cool. So
We had that too when you, me, and Clockted were playing. Like we had this match and these people were really good and really kicked their ass. And then the match after that, like it was the reverse, that we kicked their ass. And we were hoping that they would say yes, because I'd rather lose to really good people than beat somebody like 15-0.
yeah, I mean, in that situation, I love that we beat them.
Well, that situation is
8-0.
different.
But yeah, if it's just a boring, like you're playing dad and mom, like we that one time. That wasn't there.
Family's first switch.
Yeah, that wasn't fun to destroy them. But
I mean, we even tried to let
That was a
them
massacre.
score, and
We were trying to
still
let
won.
them score, and they still couldn't score. That's it.
we did. So I don't think we shared that story about that 4-on-1 situation. Who was all there? Well, it was Retro,
Yeah.
myself, T,
Yeah.
and Robert or
One dude was
Clocked.
handling us by himself.
some guy somehow he was on PC because of the name was like 20 characters long. It was 4 of us, so we're like, let's find a 4-on-4. It's a lot harder to find those matches. And it puts us in a game. And I first see like, oh, the one dude's just sitting there. He must have went and took a leak or something. He's not by his controller. And then I'm like, oh, there's 2 guys like that. And then we figured out that one guy was in a party and he would just let the other 3 cars sit there, and he was playing us by himself, one guy against 4 of us. What was the first match score, you think? 6-0?
6-0.
Oh, I think I
He
scored
murked our
1
ass.
late.
Yeah.
Like 6-1, 7-1. The next game beat us, and then the third game we figured out what to do. We just kept hitting him and trying to, and we finally beat him like 2-1,
by 1 goal.
2-3, 2-2, or 2-1.
4 guys against 1
This
dude.
is by himself. Doesn't matter where we hit the ball, 4 of us. He was there to block it, constantly hitting it back into our zone and scoring on us. I don't know. Was it Lil Cray? Were you there?
Yeah,
might have been the 4th.
I figured I was on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a little crazy. Yeah, he was.
I'm like, I don't know how the fuck that is even possible that he by himself.
I still can't figure that
And we're
shit
It
out.
still
chatting.
didn't make any sense because when we were playing with Clocked, like I had to go like do something with my cat or something because she threw up or I don't know what. I was gone for literally 20 seconds and I came back and on my screen it said like yeah, you're gonna be booted for inactivities. I have no idea how he even did that.
Somebody said, dude,
Yeah.
was hacking. I mean, you still got it.
You still got to control the,
I don't
you know,
know.
the cars.
Unless it was just AI somehow and it was just ridiculous. But I think the guy was just that good. I just really do. I mean, he was climbing the wall. He's hitting the ball in the air. It didn't matter. I hit it really hard towards the goal, and I didn't even see him on my screen. All of a sudden, he comes flying in, blocks the damn thing. It's just like, it was ridiculous. So, that, I mean, it was also entertaining at the same time just to see it.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was.
We figured out how
How
to
is
beat
this
him,
guy
but
doing this?
it took like teamwork to like bump him and get and like hit him off his spot so that we could get the ball past him.
Just to win by 1.
I know.
That's crazy.
So I love that game though. It's just for me, it's like the perfect pick up and play for 20 minutes, half hour. It doesn't matter. I play for 4 hours sometimes. It's just the matches are 5 minutes. They feel shorter, but it also eats up a lot of time too if you're not careful. You know, you can be playing for a long time. And I'm just I was late to the party. It probably sound like I was just talking about earlier about Bayonetta people. 4 years later, all excited about Bayonetta, but it's not much. Rocket League's what, 2-3 years old? So I probably kind of sound like that, but definitely my go-to game these days, and I'm really enjoying it. So, but that's going to be it for this podcast. Really good discussion. Always appreciate seeing pretty much the same group week on, week out in the live chat. And I appreciate you guys tuning in every Monday. That's always fun. Always look forward to it. So we'll do it again next week, and maybe we'll have some more surprise updates hitting today, tomorrow, or sometime this week to talk about. So until then, we'll see you guys next week.